Hi, hello, and welcome to yet another episode of IPL Titbits with Gully Cricket. So, Shash, Punjab wins
Yeah,
another game, and
yes.
they're slowly marching towards the playoff spot. But uh, something I noticed was that Punjab have changed their approach. Earlier, they would start aggressively and lose some quick wickets, and then it was up to Livingston and other finishers to do it. But yesterday, they started slow, and once they were settled, they started scoring at a faster rate to get to a good total. So, what are your thoughts on this approach, Shash?
Yes, I think it makes sense in a way because you can't go all out bang bang every time. You have to respect the conditions sometimes, the match situation, which where they are placed in the table as well. They would have definitely had a discussion because I think they had quite a bit of time before after the last game. So since they were not winning games, they sort of tried to figure out, like where are the areas that we are missing out. And you could see the changes as well. I was voting for Rajapaksha to be in the team, and he did get a chance yesterday. And Odion Smith again, except for that one game, he has not really been impressive. Like with the bat or the ball. I mean, he has a lot of potential. Maybe it will take a bit of time, is what I feel. But yeah, again, making those changes, like strengthening the batting a little bit more. With Jitesh Sharma didn't even get a chance to play yesterday.
Mhm.
So that shows that, they've definitely had a rethink about what their plans are. And yeah, I mean, it looked a much more balanced team, is what I would say yesterday.
Yeah, and you're asking for Rajapaksha from such a long time, and he comes and
Finally, they heard it.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I would say the fielding from Chennai was quite ordinary yesterday. I think that is what also uh, might have been the case where they lost the game because they dropped Rajapaksha twice, a few misfields which went to the boundary. These are costly errors. So I would say that had a definite impact on the overall result of the game.
yeah, and even in the previous game, we saw some catches dropped by Jaddu. I think it's they're running low on confidence maybe because of the
Correct.
points table status. So
Yeah.
yeah, now coming to Punjab bowling, we have an underrated bowler, Shash. Arshdeep gave just 13 runs in 2 overs at the death yesterday, and even in the other matches, he has been very economical at the death. And in the post-match presentation, Rabada said that Arshdeep is the best death bowler they've got in the team. Do you agree with him, Shash?
Well, I think this guy has been really impressive, not only for this season. I think he's handled those crunch situations really well. It's just that, Punjab has not made it to the playoffs or, yeah, I've gone far ahead that you don't notice him. But
Mhm.
honestly, I would say this guy can be an option which you can take to Australia. I have my reasons as well because he seems to be someone who knows what he's doing and he reads the angles of the field well. He bowls it outside off stump, and it's not like just one thing that he bowls. He has the Yorker, he bowls wide outside off stump, then he can also bowl the bouncer as well. He's not very quick, but he's reasonably like I think he hits the mid 130s, which is still very good. And two, like to get a praise like of that sort from Rabada says it all
Mhm.
because like Rabada is one of the best bowlers in the world going around now. And if he has to believe that Arshdeep is one of the best death bowlers of the season, he must be definitely doing something right. And it's there for everyone to see because even yesterday, after that over of Sandeep Sharma, the momentum could have shifted towards CSK, but he and Rabada made sure that they just gave 20 runs in the next 3 overs and also picking up the key wicket of Rayudu. I think there they killed the game.
Yes. But speaking about Raidu, he did a very good job, and that's why CSK lost by a small margin. Now, Shash, don't you think if the
Correct.
top four had contributed little more, CSK could have won this game?
I think that has been the problem with a few teams this time around. If I have to be honest, the top order is just not firing. Maybe certain things that CSK might want to rethink. Is Santner a power play player? Is something you got to see because of whatever I've seen. He's someone who takes a bit of time to get going. Is what I feel. He's a very handy cricketer. Like he's a three-dimensional cricketer basically. It's which is good, but then, is he someone who makes use of the overs in the power play? Is something that has to be seen. Uttapa again has been like, on and off. He's not been consistent at all. So that
Mhm.
is also hampering CSK's chances. And Ruturaj would have been disappointed that he couldn't carry through after the start that he got. So these are certain things that CSK would want to look at, but is it too late? It's the question.
Exactly. Now it's very bleak. CSK has a very bleak chance of making it the playoff, just
Correct.
about 2%. So it's highly unlikely, and CSK will have a lot to think. So that was it about yesterday's game. CSK lost another match, and they're at number 9th position on the points table. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's about yesterday's game. So moving on to today's Royal Rumble, we have the RCB taking on the Rajasthan Royals. So Shash, Butler has scored a century at remaining three stadiums. He will be looking to check the Pune box tonight. What should RCB
Yeah.
do to stop him?
Well, I definitely hope that doesn't come true. I mean, I did mention in one of the shows that he would want to get it in all the four venues, but I hope it is definitely not today. Uh, you have to figure a way to get him out, maybe in the new ball itself. You've seen his struggles in the test match cricket when the ball moves. So I would say, bowl good line and lengths and try to nick him off or get him LBW in the first few overs, I think would be the best way to stop him. Otherwise, you know what damage he can cause if he gets his eye in. So that would be very important, that RCB, come up with their plans and make sure or try to get him out as soon as possible, so that the confidence in the RR team sort of comes down, because they've been heavily dependent on Josh Butler. So that is something that RCB can definitely look into.
Yep. I do hope they have a plan for him because in the previous game, I think they had a chance to get him out very early. Willie dropped the catch, but he went on to score
Hmm.
70. So now coming to RCB batting. Now Virat has been batting really good in the nets. He scored 65 of 32 balls in practice, but when it comes to actual matches, he's actually failing to convert this. What's the reason, Shah? Like, is it that the bowlers are performing equally bad in the nets, or is it because lack of confidence in the real matches?
Well, I mean, a net session, you'll never have that pressure, right? When you're playing
Yeah.
actual, like in the game. Game time, game pressure is something that is, you cannot you cannot compare that at all with what you're having in the nets. It's a much more relaxed atmosphere in the nets. It's not the same when you're playing the actual match. So he definitely seems to have lacked confidence, because even in the last game when he got out, uh, he was finding it hard to believe that what exactly is happening with him. I mean, I would make a brave call to say that it is worth a while to rest him for a few games and, probably, get his batteries recharged or put him in a good space of mind. And I would honestly hope that it's time for Lomro to come in place of Anuj Rawat, because
Mhm.
he's not, except for 1 or 2 games, he's not been doing that well. And you saw what happened when the top three got out so quickly in the last game. We cannot afford such games because we are the only team in the top four to have a negative net run rate. So we have seen what has happened before in terms of a net run rate. So we have to be careful in all aspects and try to, get the best combination on the field.
Exactly. We hope RCB and Virat both come back strongly. So it's going to be a tough fight tonight because RR has been in such a comfortable position. But do you think RCB can win it tonight?
Well, definitely. I mean, they've won from difficult situations is what gives me the hope.
Mhm.
As we have talked about earlier as well, the top three has definitely been short of runs. But then, if you still managed to win games, it shows that what confidence the team is actually playing in. So, yeah, we can. I mean, RR does have a good team, but apart from the openers, they've not had many handy contributions, or like, let's say, the Shimron Hetmar has done quite well in a few games. But as a team, they've relied on individual contributions.
Mhm.
Whereas for RCB, they have been partnerships. There have been different people standing up in different games. So that is what sort of encourages me to say that RCB can, uh, win in the Battle of the Royals tonight.
Exactly. One or two quick wickets can actually do the trick for RCB today. So
Yeah.
that was the preview of today's game. And with that, we move on to the man of the match contest. Shash. So the man of the match
Yeah.
was Shikhar Dhawan for his.
Yes.
And yeah, you got your
Yeah.
prediction right as well.
Correct. Yeah, I mean, see, this guy is, I've mentioned before, he's very underrated. He's a quality player, right? He's one of the best white ball players that is currently playing in the world, I would say. Because He also mentioned, like there was a game plan. He works very hard. This guy's a very jolly guy, on the Instagram or social media, but take nothing away. He trains a lot. He's so fit, and he doesn't look like he's 36 or whatever. He looks like he can easily play for another 3-4 years, and I hope he does if he keeps churning out runs like this.
Exactly. He's like that guy on the social media who posts movie pictures one night before the exam and then tops the exam. So
Yeah.
he did that yesterday and took Punjab to a victory. So he was the man of the match, and we had a couple of entries, a lot actually. And even though some predicted Rabada and Rayudu and other players, it's Punjab who won, and so Shikhar Dhawan was it. So let's spin the wheel and
Okay. Hope we have a new winner. All
third time.
right. Rakesh Mohan. Congratulations.
The wheel really likes him. The third time it's
Yeah,
him.
correct.
So
So he's
congratulations,
probably
Rakesh.
done some fixing with the wheel so that it points towards him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So
good to know that
mm,
people, yeah, we would like to see new winners so that we also feel encouraged to keep doing this as well. Yeah. So guys, keep sending your entries in, and hoping for an exciting game tonight.
yes. So all you have to do is comment man of the match, predict it before the start of second innings, and leave your comment on this video. So with that, we end today's video. Have fun and cheers.